Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome here to the launch pad. You're looking at a live view from inside the Satish Dhawan Space Center's mission control room as the ISRO is preparing to launch their PSLV-CA rocket from the first launch pad at the Satish Dhawan Space Center in India. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name's Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the launch pad, and here at TLP, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow because we believe that space is better together, and we're glad to have you joining us live here tonight. If you haven't yet, take a moment, engage that like button, share out the stream, invite people as we count down T-minus 34 minutes, 10 seconds, and counting until the launch of tonight's DSSAR mission. Today's launch provider is New Space India Limited, which is the commercial branch of the Indian Space Research Organization, or ISRO, and the customer for today's mission is the Singaporean Defence Science and Technology Agency, or DSTA, in partnership with ST Engineering. Today's vehicle, as I said, is the PSLV-CA, which is the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. As you can see, we are looking at a live view inside mission control, so we will be listening in for updates on the count. Today's broadcast, I'll be providing commentary in English, but as it is an India launch, we'll be hearing it in both languages live from mission control. As always, if you have questions, you can send those in the chat by tagging us at the Launchpad, and we'll do our best to answer those live throughout today's
TC-TC
stream.
1 and 2, we observe both telemetry carriers are on.
Copied.
I will pause commentary when we do hear things come through the mission control net as we now approach T-minus 33 minutes and counting until launch. If it's your first time here, though, welcome. Here at the Launchpad, we bring you full live launch coverage, space news updates, exclusive one-on-one interviews, all as part of the Launchpad network. I know many are joining us from our 24/7 Chandrayaan-3 tracker stream, so that'll be remaining up as we continue to watch Chandrayaan-3 as it journeys to the moon. We're just over 2.5 days away from the trans-lunar ejection burn, making its way from Earth orbit into lunar orbit. But tonight, we're here for the launch of DSSAR-3 from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in India, and we're glad to have you joining us here. As we get started, let us know in the chat where you're watching from. We'll give some shout outs there. Make sure you take a moment and share out the stream and invite people to join us. This is the first of 2 launches we'll be bringing you live tonight. We are just a few hours away from also the launch of We Love the Nightfall, the 40th Electron mission from Rocket Lab. That countdown clock currently sits T-minus 4 hours, 31 minutes and counting. So we hope you'll come back and join us for that in just a few hours following today's stream. But if you're just joining us, welcome. You're looking at a live view inside the Satish Dhawan Space Center as we continue through today's countdown for today's mission. We expect Mission Control's live launch commentary to begin in just over a minute and a half. And we'll, of course, be listening in for an update. We've got Mr. Reds watching from the UK, Rocketman's in Baltimore, Maryland. We've got Stan in South Carolina, I believe that is. There we go, yep. Rishi is in Wilmington, Delaware. Sorry for messing that up. We've got the Gumhio Martian from Kentucky. Glad to have you all joining us here this evening. See lots of regulars in the chat as well. Ginger, good to see you as always from Lakewood, Washington. Toast is from Florence, Alabama. Glad to have you all here with us today as we continue through the count. T-minus 31 minutes, 3 seconds, and counting now until launch. On board today's payload is the DSSAR payload, which has been the Israel Aerospace. We're going to pause that for a second. The Israel Aerospace Industries has been responsible for the development of the DSSAR spacecraft, while the Singaporean and ST Engineering teams will be the operators. It is an Earth surface observing spacecraft, which has been used by a number of different government agencies. It will benefit with satellite services. As we get ready, there is a live view out at the first launch pad as we count down to launch. Let's listen in to Mission Control.
स्वागत है आप सभी दर्शकों का NSIL और इसरो के एक और वाणिज्यिक प्रमोशन मिशन के सीधे प्रसारण में। मैं विकास स्वर्णकार और मेरे साथ हैं इंग्लिश कमेंटेटर मिस माधुरी पी। हम यहाँ मिशन नियंत्रण कक्ष से आप सभी दर्शकों के लिए प्रमोशन का आंखों देखा हाल प्रस्तुत करेंगे। अभी कुछ ही दिन पहले 14 जुलाई 2023 को हमने इसरो के महत्वाकांक्षी मिशन चंद्रयान 3 का सफल प्रक्षेपण देखा। चंद्रयान 3 में 5 सफल मैन्योवरों के पश्चात वह चंद्रमा की यात्रा जारी रखे हुए है। इसके बाद 1 अगस्त को एक और मैन्योवर किया जाएगा, जिसके पश्चात वह ट्रांसल्यूनर ऑर्बिट में प्रवेश करेगा। बहरहाल हम अपने अगले मिशन PSLV-C56 DSSAR के प्रमोशन के लिए तैयार हैं। यह प्रमोशन श्रीहरिकोटा के प्रथम प्रमोशन मंच से भारतीय मानक समय के अनुसार प्रातः 6:31 पर किया जाएगा। इसमें मुख्य उपग्रह के रूप में है 352 kg के DSSAR नामक इमेजिंग सैटेलाइट, जिसे निकट भूमध्य रेखीय कक्षा में 5 डिग्री के झुकाव के साथ अंतक्षेपित किया जाना है। मुख्य उपग्रह के साथ 6 अन्य सहयात्री उपग्रह इस प्रमोशन यान में अपनी कक्षा के लिए सफर कर रहे हैं। यह मिशन कुल 23 मिनट में पूरा किया जाएगा। तत्पश्चात चतुर्थ चरण को पुनः प्रज्वलित कर अंतरिक्षीय प्रयोग में काम लाया जाएगा।
Namaste viewers and a good morning to you all. This pleasant Sunday morning,
P2,
ISRO
switch on the
is
pulsar.
gearing for the 6th launch of 2023. The launch
P2
of
pulsar on.
PSLV-C56 DSSAR mission from its spaceport Satish Dhawan Space Center, Shar, Sriharikota. I am Madhuri, joining you live from the Mission Control Center at the spaceport, together with my co-commentator Shri Vikas Swarnkar, who will be giving the commentary in Hindi. This telecast is brought to you by Doordarshan. You can also watch the launch on ISRO website, YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
P3, switch on the
The
pulsar.
launch of PSLV C56 DSR satellite mission is scheduled to take place today, the 30th of July 2023 at 6:31 hours Indian Standard Time from the first launch pad of Satish Dhawan Space Center. This is a dedicated commercial mission whose launch services are being mediated by New Space India Limited. The primary satellite is DSSAR, an Earth observation satellite weighing 352 kilograms, developed by Government of Singapore and ST Engineering. Along with this, there are 6 co-passenger satellites varying in weight from 3 kilograms to 23 kilograms, all belonging to the universities in Singapore. DSR is intended to be placed in 6,914 kilometers orbit with 5 degrees inclination, that is a near equatorial orbit.
आज PSLV की 58वीं उड़ान है। इस साल हमने सिंगापुर के ही टेलियस 2 उपग्रह का सफल प्रमोशन PSLV-C55 द्वारा देखा था। PSLV रॉकेट के इस विश्वसनीयता का ही फल है कि अब तक इससे कुल 423 विदेशी उपग्रहों को सफलतापूर्वक प्रमोचित किया जा चुका है। आइए अब आपको PSLV-C56 के इंटीग्रेशन वीडियो का दिखाते हैं।
-27 minutes.
As the viewers might recall, ISRO has launched the prestigious Chandrayaan-3 mission to the moon on 14th of July, mere 16 days ago. All systems of Chandrayaan are reported to be in good health, and a series of 5 earthbound maneuvers have been completed. And translunar injection is planned day after tomorrow, that is 1st of August. Presently, Chandrayaan-3 is in 71,351 by 233 kilometers orbit. These are the visuals from the launch view gallery here at Sriharikota. Up next, you will watch the integration video for PSLV C56 DSSAR mission.
And if you're just joining us, welcome here to the launch pad. You're now looking at a recorded video showing the integration of today's PSLV rocket as it was prepared for flight. If it's your first time here, welcome. Here at the launch pad, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow because we believe that space is better together. We're glad to have you joining us here as we count down T-minus 25 minutes, 12 seconds and counting until launch from the first launch pad at the Satish Dhawan Space Center in India. As always, if you guys have questions, you can send those in the chat by tagging us at the launch pad, and we'll work on answering those live to the best of our abilities. We continue through the countdown, catching up on the chat here, seeing where some people are joining us from. I know we got lots of people joining us from India. Great to have you here. We have lots of Indias in the chat. It's great to see you all joining us here. We've got Matthew is in St. Louis. We've got David joining us here. We got South Carolina. We've got Glasgow. We've got Florida. Some people from the US. Great to have you all joining us here tonight for the launch of DSAR aboard ISRO's PSLV rocket. A couple people calling out the color combination. Is a really colorful rocket, which is always nice to see. Used to a bit more of the solid white, but it's nice seeing some variations there as well. Dan Harrison King is asking, you've probably been asked loads, but what are your thoughts on the recent UFO discussions and revelations? It's been an interesting week with some hearings in the States. We did put out an article kind of recapping that hearing, so definitely take some time and go check that out. I've got my own opinions, but our mission at the Launchpad is to just help provide information and let everyone provide their own opinions. So I have my own. We talk about them on Discord some of the time, but it was an interesting week, and we'll see what else we get for the rest of this year and into the future as we continue to try to answer that question, are we alone? Tom, always good to see people just using a hammer to put a rocket together. Yeah, sometimes you just need to nail it together, but it works. And PSLV we've seen launch previously, so it is a vehicle that we know and trust to be able to fly. Pulling up the statistics on the screen here for you guys for the previous flights. This is the first launch for this year of the PSLV, and the 13th launch for PSLV in its entire history. This is the second launch from this pad this year, and the 6th launch already for the ISRO. So great seeing that number grow this year. We are now at 110 missions completed this year globally. SpaceX having conducted their 51st last night, almost making up 50% of all orbital launches this year. As we continue to count down, T-minus 22 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. We saw there a little bit ago a live view at the pad. Looks like a beautiful day down in India, currently 29 degrees Celsius with a light winds coming out from the west. But busy day out at the viewing gallery. Lots of people showing up to watch the launch of DSAR, the Earth Observation Satellite. Hey Varda, how's it going? It's a shout out from your Texas friend Gina. Probably it is. Great to have you joining us. Good to see another Canadian in the chat. I'm coming to you guys live from our TOP Canada studio. Seeing some more people joining in. Ben is from Atlanta, Georgia. We got Lucky in Washington State. Texas is in San Antonio, Texas. We got Dovepool in Utah. Great having you join us. Bob is in Billings, and we have some more India. Great to have you all joining us here this evening. Looking back into a live view of mission control. We'll listen back in for an update on the count.
PSLV-C56 का integration.
ROD, Roger. ROD, Roger.
अभियान पूरी तरह तैयार है तथा अंतिम जांच जारी है. PSLV-C56 के प्रमोशन की सारी तैयारियां पूर्ण हो चुकी हैं तथा अंतिम गतिविधियों के पश्चात ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू किया जाएगा. प्रमोशन की उल्टी गिनती 25.5 घंटे पूर्व शुरू हो चुकी है. अब हम प्रमोशन से 20 मिनट 35 सेकंड की दूरी पर हैं। इस दौरान महत्वपूर्ण कार्य पूर्ण किए जा रहे हैं, जैसे कि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक तंत्र तथा उपग्रह को पावर ऑन करना तथा स्वास्थ्य जांच पूरा करना। तरल नोदक वाले PS2 और PS4 चरणों में तरल नोदक का भराव सुनिश्चित कर लिया गया है। साथ ही संचार तंत्रों का परीक्षण भी पूरा कर लिया गया है।
Today's launch is the 58th flight of PSLV
minus 20
and
minutes. Request
17th
all
mission
stations change
that
over to
uses the
channel 2.
workhorse PSLV in its core-alone configuration. Speaking of the spaceport statistics, today's launch will be the 90th from SDSC-SAR and 48th from the first launch pad. So far, ISRO has launched as many as 424 satellites for 34 countries. Launch of PSLV-C56 DSSAR will add to the numbers. For Singapore, ISRO has provided launch services for 20 satellites, including the present mission, the recent most being PSLV-C55 Telios 2 mission.
भारी संख्या में यहाँ उपस्थित हैं व्यूअर्स, लॉन्च व्यूअर्स गैलरी पे। छात्रगण भी आए हुए हैं यहाँ पे, बहुत ही उत्साहित हैं इस लॉन्च को देखने के लिए।
PS4 stage 2 vehicle director, PS4 stage is ready for launch.
पूरी गैलरी दर्शकों से भरी हुई है, सभी स्कूल के छात्र छात्रा यहाँ उपस्थित।
The countdown for PSLV C56 DSR has been 25.5 hours long, during which a concert of activities are carried out for the readiness of range, launch vehicle, spacecraft, and downrange tracking stations. The liquid propellants are serviced to the launch vehicle stages. In the last T-10 hours or more, the onboard batteries are charged and the gas bottles filled with gases for stage functioning are pressurized. The meteorology section obtains and records critical data for committing the launch
Minus
and
18
day of
minutes.
launch wind biasing of the launch vehicle.
This is vehicle director to mission director. All the system parameters of PSLV C56 launch vehicle are normal and within specifications. The launch vehicle is ready for PSLV C56 DSR mission.
Mission director Roger.
अभी अभी यान निदेशक ने यान के परीक्षण के पश्चात यान की जानकारी मिशन डायरेक्टर को दी है। यह पूर्णतः संतोषजनक है और हम उड़ान के लिए आगे जा रहे हैं। एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर और मौसम विभाग की अनुमति भी प्राप्त की जा चुकी है। मौसम पूरी तरह अनुकूल प्रमोशन के लिए। अब हम उड़ान से 17 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं।
Minus 17 minutes.
Timing to control, timing confirms external hold mode.
Roger, VLCC1, LCC1, please note, timing confirmed external hold mode.
LCC Roger.
To mission director DSSAR
VLCC Roger.
Singapore is ready for PSLV-C66 launch mission.
Mission director Roger.
ROD to mission director. Range is ready for PSLV C56 DSR launch.
Mission director Roger.
TTC director to mission director. TTC director confirms readiness of ISRO stations and network for supporting PSLV C56 DSR mission.
Mission director Roger.
उपग्रह निदेशक, रेंज
PCPC,
निदेशक, टेलीमेट्री
data
ट्रैकिंग एंड
loggers are
कमांड
on it,
निदेशक,
SHAR 1 and SHAR 2
यान
station.
निदेशक ने अपने
Copied.
तंत्रों की जानकारी मिशन निदेशक को दे दी है।
Minus 16 minutes.
This is mission director. Mission readiness review and launch authorization board have already given clearance for proceeding with the countdown and launch of PSLV C56 DSR mission. All operations in the countdown sequence till automatic launch sequence have been completed satisfactorily. based on the clearance obtained from launch vehicle, spacecraft, range, and distract network stations and prevailing favorable weather conditions, Mission Director hereby authorizes to initiate launch operation sequence for the launch of PSLV-C56 DSR mission at 6:31 hours IST today, that is 30th of July 2023.
All stations note.
जी हाँ, अभी
Mission
आपने
Director
सुना
has given authorization for
मिशन निदेशक श्री
launch.
एस आर बीजू ने लॉन्च के ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस जारी करने का
Minus
अनुमोदन दे
15
दिया है।
minutes.
Based on the authorization from Mission Director, Vehicle Director hereby authorizes to initiate automatic launch sequence for the launch of PSLV-C56 DSR mission at 6:31 hours IST today, 30th July.
Automatic launch sequence initiated for PSLV-C56 DSR mission.
Hardcore in automotive. You've just watched on your screen Mission Director Sri S.R. Biju giving his clearance and authorizing the launch, and the automatic launch sequence will now run, that is T minus 14 minutes onwards from the ground computers to check very important systems of the launch vehicle. Close to the scheduled launch time, the control is passed on to the onboard computers. Speaking about the launch vehicle, PSLV is the workhorse rocket for ISRO, having a legacy of ISRO's own and commercial missions to a variety of orbits. Based on payload weight and orbit, the configuration is adapted as regular, XL, QL, DL or CA. CA represents core alone or no strap-on version of PSLV. It has a gross liftoff mass of 229 tons. PSLV is a 4-stage launch vehicle with alternate solid and liquid stages. The first stage is solid propellant stage called S139 with 139 tons of HTPV-based solid propellant. Second stage has a hypergolic earth storable propellant combination of UH-25 and N2O4 with 41 tons propellant loading. Third stage is solid propellant stage having a Kevlar filament wound case with 7.65 tons propellant loading. The fourth stage is a liquid propellant based stage with 1.4 tons propellant. The PSLV stands 44.4 meters tall.
PS4 actuation.
PSLV-C56 DSR मिशन का घटनाक्रम कुछ इस प्रकार होगा। पूर्ण संयोजित तथा परीक्षण के पश्चात T0 पर PS1 कोर स्टेज S139 बूस्टर का प्रज्वलन शुरू होगा। यह चरण करीबन 109 सेकेंड्स तक जलकर 4800 किलोन्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर यान को 50 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई तथा 1.4 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकेंड का वेग प्रदान करेगा। इस चरण के दौरान ही प्रथम चरण को पृथक करने के पश्चात द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो जाएगा। द्वितीय चरण के दौरान ऊष्मा कवच यानी पेलोड फेयरिंग को भी यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन 152 सेकंड तक चलेगा और यान इस चरण के दौरान 169 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई तथा 4.23 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड का वेग प्राप्त कर चुका होगा। द्वितीय चरण के पृथकन के 1 सेकंड के पश्चात तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो जाएगा। यह चरण फिर से ठोस नोदक वाला चरण है और इसे उच्च निष्पादन HPS-3 मोटर कहा जाता है। यह 120 सेकंड तक प्रज्वलित रहकर 240 किलोन्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करेगा। इस समय यान की ऊंचाई 220 किलोमीटर तथा सापेक्ष गति 7.24 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड हो जाएगी। फिर शुरू होता है कोस्टिंग फेज, जिसमें बिना किसी प्रज्वलन के यान प्राप्त संवेग से 115 किलोमीटर की अतिरिक्त ऊंचाई प्राप्त करेगा और यान की गति में मामूली गिरावट आएगी। फिर यान से तृतीय चरण को पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। यान इसके 263 सेकंड के पश्चात ही चतुर्थ चरण को प्रज्वलित किया जाएगा। चतुर्थ चरण अंतिम चरण है PSLV का, जो कि तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है। इसमें MON और MMH ईंधन का प्रयोग किया जाता है। यह चरण 272 सेकंड तक प्रज्वलित रहकर 14.6 किलोन्यूटन के प्रणोद के साथ यान को उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में लेकर जाएगा, जो कि इस मिशन के लिए है 536 किलोमीटर।
PS2 actuation prime chain.
और इस दौरान गति होगी 7.08 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड। DSSAR मुख्य उपग्रह को प्रक्षेपित किया जाएगा। तत्पश्चात क्रमशः न्यूलियन, ऑर्बिटल, स्ट्राइडर, कैलेशिया 2, स्कूप 2, आर्केड और वेलॉक्स AM नामक उपग्रहों को
-10
उनकी
minutes.
कक्षा में स्थापित किया जाएगा। इतना होने के पश्चात इस यान में चतुर्थ चरण को पुनः प्रज्वलित कर अंतरिक्षीय प्रयोगों में काम लाया जाएगा।
We are 9.5 minutes from the scheduled launch time. As we await the launch, let me tell the audience the major flight events that will be taking place in the PSLV-C56 DSSAR mission. This core-alone version of PSLV will inject 7 payloads in a mission lasting 23 minutes. At T0, the core S-139 ignites and the launch vehicle lifts off. By 109 seconds, the first stage would have completed its operation and separates from the ongoing launch vehicle. At this instant, the launch vehicle would have reached an altitude of 51
-9
kilometers.
SATVC BPV open.
Soon afterwards, the second stage ignites and carries the rocket up to 169 kilometers altitude in its operational time of 152 seconds. During the operation of second stage, the launch vehicle clears the dense atmosphere, so the closed loop guidance is initiated and the payload fairing is separated. The third stage ignites soon after the separation of second stage. After operation of 120 seconds, the PS3 burns out but continues to coast along for another 200 seconds. By this instant, the altitude of the launch vehicle is 335 kilometers. The fourth stage, PS4, together with the payloads, continue to coast for another 263.3 seconds. After the burnout of the third stage, coast
-8
phase
minutes.
adds an altitude of 244 kilometers to the launch vehicle, while its relative velocity reduces a little. The fourth stage ignites at 14 minutes into the flight and operates for 272 seconds, during which the orbital conditions are achieved for the ignition of prime satellite DSSAR and 6 co-passenger satellites. The intended orbit is 6,914 kilometers circular orbit at 5 degrees inclination. The order of separation of other satellites is Neolon, Orbit 12 Strider, followed by Glacia, then the Scoop 2, then Arcade, and finally Velox AM. Thereafter, the upper stage is maneuvered to a lower orbit.
-7 minutes.
अब हम उड़ान से 7 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं। ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस जारी है। यह करीबन 14 मिनट चलता है और इस दौरान पायरो लाइंस को सेफ से आर्म मोड में लाया जाता है तथा सभी संचार तंत्रों की आंतरिक जांच की जाती है। जैसा कि हमने बताया, PSLV प्रमोचन यान की कुल 57 उड़ानें हो चुकी हैं। यह 58वीं उड़ान होगी। PSLV की उसकी विश्वसनीयता के कारण इसरो का वर्क हॉर्स भी कहा जाता है। यह विश्वसनीयता सिर्फ प्रमोचन यान की नहीं बल्कि उस वैज्ञानिक, तकनीकी तथा व्यवस्था तंत्र की भी है जो हर बार इस मिशन को सफल करने में सक्षम है।
-6 minutes.
PSLV रॉकेट की विश्वसनीयता गुणांक 97.6% है।
PS2 actuatron.
हर एक सफलता के पश्चात इस गुणांक में वृद्धि होती रहती है।
External power is withdrawn. Vehicle is fully internal battery power.
PSLV न सिर्फ विश्वसनीय है, यह बहुमुखी भी है। प्रथम चरण के प्रणोदानुसार
Flight course and
PSLV
loading
4
initiated.
मुख्य संरूपण में हैं, PSLV XL, QL, DL तथा CA, जिसमें क्रमानुसार 6, 4, 2 और 0 स्टेप ऑन मोटर्स
Flight
संलग्न
course and
रहते
loading
हैं।
completed.
वर्तमान प्रमोचन यान PSLV C56 CA कोर अलोन संरूपण वाला यान है।
We are close to 5
Minus
minutes
5
from the
minutes.
launch.
MC confirms
As a
radar
matter
data.
of fact, the uppermost stage of the rocket usually goes into the same orbit as the satellite the mission injects. The fuel left unused in the stage is vented and the stage is passivated. Passivation is a process of removing stored energy from space vehicle to reduce the risk of high energy release such as explosions or fragmentations. However, the spent stage is an orbital debris itself. The orbital lifetime of the debris is very long in certain orbits. As a responsible space agency, ISRO is carrying out a change in the orbit of fourth stage after the accomplishment of mission. From 536 kilometers altitude, the fourth stage, PS4, will be brought down to about 300 kilometers altitude by firing the orbit
Minus
change
4
thrusters
minutes.
twice. First firing is scheduled 45 minutes into the flight and second firing is scheduled 90 minutes into the flight. The re-entry into Earth's atmosphere from 300 kilometers altitude is likely to be in the order of weeks or a month. Though the burns of OCT will be tracked
Power
by
and valve
ISRO's
batteries are
ground
on.
stations, the live transmission will not be available for the viewers.
Onboard computers in flight mode.
सभी दर्शक प्रतीक्षा में इस प्रमोचन के। अब हम प्रमोचन से 3 मिनट 20 सेकंड की दूरी पर हैं।
And if you're just joining us, welcome here to the launch pad. We are now at T-minus 3 minutes, 5 seconds and counting until launch of the PSLV rocket launching from the first launch pad at the Satish Dhawan Space Center in India. If it's your first time here, welcome here at the launch pad. It's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow because we believe that space is better together. And make sure you take a moment and engage that subscribe button so you never miss another launch out of India, the United States, or anywhere else around the world as we strive to bring you the best possible coverage of everything space, including space news updates and exclusive one-on-one interviews. As we get into this final bit of the count, as always, let's see that go, no go in the chat, and we get down to T-minus 2 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. Let's listen back in to Satish Dhawan Space Center Mission Control as we count down to launch.
जैसा कि आपको बताया गया, इस प्रमोचन मिशन में सभी 7 उपग्रहों के प्रमोचन के पश्चात PSLV C56 के चतुर्थ चरण को उसमें लगे ऑर्बिट चेंज थ्रस्टर्स को प्रज्वलित कर उसे 536 किलोमीटर्स की कक्षा से 300 किलोमीटर की कक्षा वृत्ताकार कक्षा में 2 चरणों में लाया जाएगा। यह प्रयोग भावी मिशन के डी ऑर्बिट सीक्वेंस के तकनीक प्रदर्शन के रूप में किया जा रहा है। ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस सुचारू रूप से जारी है। सभी गतिविधियां सामान्य संतोषजनक तरीके से पूर्ण हो रही हैं। अब हम प्रमोचन से 1 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं।
-1 minute. -55 seconds.
All arms around.
यान पूरी तरह स्वचालित है।
Sequences around.
इसमें ऑनबोर्ड कंप्यूटर आंतरिक जांच द्वारा सभी
Minus
गतिविधियां
40
निश्चित कर रहे
seconds.
हैं
PS2
और
VSPP open.
T0 पर खुद ही S139
Minus
बूस्टर के
30
प्रज्वलन
seconds.
का कमांड इशू करेगा।
Minus 30 seconds.
Real-time programs activated.
Minus 25 seconds.
PS2 VSPP open.
Minus 20 seconds. Minus 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 5 seconds.
Liftoff normal.
Event tracking.
And we have a liftoff. The PSLV-C56 first stage burning bright and the thrust is reported to be normal.
जी हाँ, अभी अभी आपने देखा PSLV C56 प्रमोशन यान
Stage
का
performance normal.
सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन प्रथम प्रमोचन मंच से और प्रथम चरण का निष्पादन पूरी तरह सामान्य है। यह करीबन 110 सेकंड तक चलेगा। इस दौरान यह 4800 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है।
Normal thrust of PS1 stage 4800 kilonewtons. The stage is 20 meters long and 2.8 meters in diameter.
इस दौरान रॉकेट अपने अधिकतम गति दाब से गुजर रहा होता है। यह क्षेत्र काफी कठिन होता है एक रॉकेट के लिए, लेकिन इसमें SITVC और RCT की मदद से रॉकेट को अपनी दिशा बनाए रखनी होती है और वर्तमान में सभी तंत्र सामान्य रूप से काम कर रहे हैं और प्रथम चरण का प्रणोद जारी है।
Presently, the launch vehicle trajectory is being tracked by SAR stations. Operational duration for PS1 is 109 seconds.
Stage separated, second stage engine started, closed loop guidance initiated.
Plus 2 minutes.
प्रथम चरण के कार्यकाल के पश्चात उसे पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा द्वितीय चरण जो कि तरल नोदक वाला विकास इंजन वाला चरण है, इसका प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है।
We are 2.5 minutes into flight and the rocket is at an altitude of 76 kilometers. The second stage has commenced its operation. It's a liquid stage that has 41 tons of propellant loading. Fuel is 2H25 and oxidizer N2O4.
द्वितीय चरण वर्तमान में प्रणोद उत्पन्न करता हुआ इस चरण के दौरान ही पेलोड फेयरिंग यानी ऊष्मा कवच को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा तथा यान क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत चला जाएगा।
The legendary Vikas engine powers this stage and generates a maximum thrust of 800 kilonewtons. PS2 stage is 12.8 meters long and 2.8 meters in diameter. In the meantime, the rocket clears the dense atmosphere. It no longer needs to be steered to reduce aerodynamic loads and it can now be guided based on final destination with respect to its current position, marking the beginning of closed loop guidance. No dense atmosphere around, no need to carry the extra weight to protect the satellite. Payload fairing have been jettisoned.
ऊष्मा कवच को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा यान क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत है, जिसमें सेंसर्स की मदद से वर्तमान की स्थिति का पता लगाकर रॉकेट अपनी अभिवृत्ति नियंत्रण तथा उद्देश्य कक्षा की ओर जाता है। PSLV का द्वितीय चरण का निष्पादन जारी है।
Second stage performance normal.
यह लगभग 150 सेकंड तक प्रज्वलित रहकर 800 किलोन्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करता है। जी हाँ, इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है कि द्वितीय चरण अपना प्रज्वलन काल समाप्त कर पृथक हो चुका है तथा तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो
Third
चुका
stage
है।
performance normal.
तृतीय चरण HPS 3 के नाम से हम जानते हैं। यह इस चरण में 7.6 टन का प्रणोदक होता है और यह 240 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करता है।
The third stage has commenced its operation. It is a solid
Plus
propellant
5
stage.
minutes.
Current altitude 180 kilometers, ground range around 480 kilometers. Maximum thrust that the stage develops is 250 kilonewtons. It has 7.65 tons propellant loading.
जी हाँ, यह ठोस नोदक पर आधारित चरण है जिसे उच्च निष्पादन के लिए बनाया गया है। इस चरण का कार्यकाल लगभग 120 सेकंड का होगा।
Third stage performance normal.
इस चरण के अंत तक यान 220 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई तथा सापेक्ष गति 7.25 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की प्राप्त कर चुका होगा।
Plus 6 minutes.
Shah station continues to track. Port Blair station has just started to acquire the rocket's position.
Third stage action completed.
तृतीय चरण का निष्पादन समाप्त हो चुका है। अब PS3 स्टेज यानी तृतीय चरण और चतुर्थ चरण संयुक्त रूप से यान के साथ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। इसे हम PS3 PS4 कोस्टिंग फेज बोलते हैं।
The third stage of PSLV has completed its operation, but it will coast along with the ongoing rocket. In the meantime,
Performance normal.
no thrust is being imparted
Plus
by the
7 minutes.
rocket, but the rocket is being steered. Shar and Port Blair stations continue to track. The combined coast phase lasts for 200 seconds or until 9 minutes 42 seconds into flight. As the rocket is not thrusting, its relative velocity reduces. Meanwhile, it gains altitude.
PS3 PS4 स्टेज का कोस्टिंग फेज जारी है। इसमें बिना किसी प्रज्वलन के यान प्राप्त संवेग से 115 किलोमीटर की अतिरिक्त ऊंचाई प्राप्त कर लेगा। यान की गति में कुछ गिरावट आएगी, फिर यान से तृतीय चरण को पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। तृतीय चरण के पृथकन के पश्चात
Plus
भी
8 minutes.
चतुर्थ चरण का कोस्टिंग फेज जारी रहेगा। यह 263 सेकंड तक जारी रहेगा।
Vehicle performance normal.
अब तक सभी तंत्र सामान्य प्रदर्शन करते हुए सापेक्ष गति 7.17 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड, ऊंचाई 287 किलोमीटर।
To put the coasting phase in perspective for the viewers, the first stage carried the rocket till 51 kilometers. Second stage for another 118 kilometers. Third stage, next 51 kilometers, and combined coasting phase will add 118 kilometers altitude. Even after the separation of PS3, which is the next flight event, coasting of fourth stage and payloads continue for
Vehicle
263
performance
seconds.
normal.
Brunei Station 2 has started to track.
यह मिशन पूर्वी दिशा का मिशन है। इसमें भू स्थित ग्राउंड स्टेशन शार, पोर्ट ब्लेयर, ब्रूने और बयाक हम तक आंकड़े उपलब्ध करा रहे हैं।
Third stage separated.
अभी अभी पुष्टि की गई, तृतीय चरण को सफलतापूर्वक यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा चतुर्थ चरण का कोस्टिंग फेज जारी है।
Plus 10 minutes.
Vehicle performance normal.
यान सामान्य निष्पादन करते हुए अपने अपेक्षित पथ का अनुकरण करता हुआ जा रहा है। यान की गति 7.09 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड तथा ऊंचाई 354 किलोमीटर।
Current altitude 359 kilometers.
DSSAR उपग्रह सिंगापुर सरकार द्वारा ST इंजीनियरिंग द्वारा संयुक्त रूप से निर्मित किया गया है। इस मिशन से पहले सिंगापुर के लिए PSLV-C55 द्वारा TLS-2 का सफल प्रक्षेपण किया जा चुका है। DSR एक सिंथेटिक अपर्चर रडार लिए हुए है जो कि किसी भी मौसम और किसी भी समय 1 मीटर के रिजोल्यूशन के साथ भूप्रेक्षण में सक्षम होगा। यह सैटेलाइट इमेज सिंगापुर सरकार के विभिन्न विभागों के लिए सहायक होगा। ST इंजीनियरिंग भी इसमें वाणिज्यिक ग्राहकों के लिए इससे मल्टी मॉडल और उच्च प्रतिक्रियाशीलता इमेजरी का प्रयोग कर अपने उपभोक्ताओं को प्रदान करेगा।
Vehicle performance normal.
वर्तमान में चतुर्थ फेज का कोस्टिंग फेज जारी है।
Plus 12 minutes.
PSLV-C56 कुल 7 निर्धार लिए हुए है। इसमें मुख्य उपग्रह सिंगापुर के DSSAR भूपेक्षण उपग्रह है। अन्य हैं 23.6 kg के आर्केड, 23 kg का वेलॉक्स AM और 13 kg के ऑर्बिटल स्ट्राइडर। अन्य 3 नैनो सैटेलाइट्स जिनका भार 10 kg से कम है, यह गैलेशिया 2, न्यू लियोन नामक नितभार हैं। इन सभी सहयात्री उपग्रहों को निम्न भू कक्षा में स्थापित किया जाना है।
Fourth stage and the payloads currently coasting. Current altitude is 432
Plus
kilometers.
13 minutes.
Vehicle performance normal.
कोस्टिंग फेज के दौरान चतुर्थ चरण में लगे हुए थ्रस्टर्स की मदद से पिच या रोल कंट्रोल किया जाता है।
The prime satellite for the mission, DSSAR, is developed under a partnership between Defence Science and Technology Agency of Government of Singapore and ST Engineering. Once deployed and operational, it will be used to support the satellite imagery requirements of various agencies within the Government of Singapore. ST Engineering will use it for multimodal and high responsiveness imagery and geospatial services for their customers. DSR carries a synthetic aperture radar
Plus
payload
14 minutes.
developed by Israel Aerospace Industries. This satellite can provide all-weather day and night
Fourth
coverage.
stage engine started.
चतुर्थ चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है। यह चतुर्थ चरण अंतिम चरण है PSLV का, जो मुख्य उपग्रह और सभी नितभारों को उनकी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में लेकर जाएगा तथा अंतक्षेपित
Fourth
करेगा।
stage performance normal.
Fourth stage has commenced its operation. twin engine based pressure fed stage, developing a thrust of 7.4 kilonewtons.
वर्तमान में गति 6.94 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड तथा ऊंचाई 481 किलोमीटर। सर्वप्रथम DSSAR मुख्य उपग्रह का अंतक्षेपण किया जाएगा। यह 536 किलोमीटर की वृत्ताकार कक्षा में होगा।
The fourth stage is also provided with reaction control system thrusters for attitude control, and orbit change thrusters will fire post-mission to reduce altitude of the spent stage to aid in early re-entry. Speaking about this payloads taking ride in this mission, the first satellite to be separated is DSSAR. This satellite can provide all-weather day and night coverage and capable of imaging at 1 meter resolution at full polarimetry. It weighs 352 kilograms. The second satellite, New Leon, is an acronym for New Space LoRaWAN Internet of Things Network. It's a 3U nanosatellite developed by New Space. It is a seed satellite for a LEO equatorial constellation providing continuous LoRaWAN IoT services. The third satellite, Orb-12 Strider, will carry the world's first multimodal all-electric propulsion engine featuring subsystems from Singapore-based ELINA, Orbital Astronautics and Aurora Propulsion Technologies.
Orb-12 स्ट्राइडर, इसमें यह 13 kg का उपग्रह है जो एक स्मॉल सैटेलाइट है। इस उपग्रह को भावी पीढ़ी के प्रोपल्शन सिस्टम का तकनीकी प्रदर्शन के रूप में प्रमोशन किया जा रहा है। इसमें पहली बार मल्टीमोडल ऑल इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोपल्शन इंजन का प्रयोग किया जा रहा है और इसमें मल्टी स्टेज इग्निशन, कॉम्पैक्ट हॉल थ्रस्टर्स और आर्म रेजिस्टर जेट्स भी लगे हुए हैं।
Fourth satellite is Glacier 2, is an educational 3U nanosatellite by National University of Singapore. Its main mission is to perform an inter-satellite link with Telios 1.
Galios 2 एक 3U साइज का एजुकेशनल नैनो सैटेलाइट है जिसे नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ सिंगापुर द्वारा निर्मित किया गया है। इस उपग्रह का प्रमोशन पूर्व में भेजे गए टेलियोस 1 से अंतर उपग्रहीय संचार पथ का निर्माण करना है। यह अंतरिक्ष अनुप्रयोगों के लिए बहु स्पेक्ट्रमी इमेज लेने में भी सक्षम है। वर्तमान में चतुर्थ चरण प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर यान को उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर ले जा रहा है। कुछ ही क्षणों में उपग्रह के उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की स्थितियां प्राप्त होते ही DSSAR उपग्रह को अंतक्षेपित किया जाएगा।
The next satellites are Scoop 2, Arcade and Velox AM. Scoop 2 is a 3U CubeSat designed and developed by a student team of Satellite Research Center, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. Arcade is a 27U microsatellite.
Satellite injection conditions are achieved.
उपग्रह के अंतक्षेपण की स्थितियां प्राप्त की जा चुकी हैं। अब कुछ ही क्षणों में DSSAR उपग्रह जो कि मुख्य उपग्रह है इसका अंतक्षेपण किया जाएगा। उद्दिष्ट कक्षा है 536 किलोमीटर। सात 7.1 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड।
DSSAR satellite separated.
और यह हर्ष का पल यहाँ पर इस मिशन के मुख्य उपग्रह DSSAR को अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है और इसके तुरंत बाद ही न्यू लियोन भी इस यान से पृथक हो चुका है और अपनी कक्षा में स्थापित किया जा चुका है.
The prime satellite for PSLV-C56, that is DSSAR, has been placed in its intended orbit. Thereafter, the second satellite, New Leon, also has been separated.
इस घटनाक्रम में अगला है ऑर्बिटल स्ट्राइडर उपग्रह का अंतक्षेपण.
5 more injection events awaited. Next in line is Orbital Strider.
12 Strider satellite separated.
ऑर्बिटल स्ट्राइडर उपग्रह को भी अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में.
We have a confirmation of the separation of Orbital Strider, and Glacier 2 satellite also has been separated.
ऑर्बिटल स्ट्राइडर के पश्चात ग्लेशियर 2 को भी यान से पृथक कर उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में स्थापित कर दिया गया है. और इस घटनाक्रम में अगला है स्कूप 2 का सेपरेशन.
Two satellites separated.
यहाँ इसकी पुष्टि कर दी गई है. स्कूप 2 भी अपनी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में स्थापित कर दिया गया है.
Scoop 2 satellite has also been separated. It has been confirmed. Two more injection events to go. Arcade and Velox AM.
यान पूरी तरह अपेक्षित पथ का अनुकरण करता है और अब तक सभी गतिविधियां सामान्य हैं. इस घटनाक्रम में अगला आर्केड तथा वेलॉक्स एएम का सेपरेशन हम देखेंगे.
Satellite separated.
Arcade satellite has been separated.
जी हाँ, इसकी पुष्टि कर दी गई है. आर्केड को भी उनकी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में स्थापित कर दिया गया है. अब अंतिम उपग्रह वेलॉक्स एएम.
Arcade carries iodine-based solid propellant propulsion module based on the Hall effect thruster for orbit maintenance during the low altitude mission. It is developed by NTU and in collaboration with Inspire Consortium. Velox AM, the seventh satellite, is a microsatellite weighing 23 kilograms for technology demonstration of
AM satellite separated.
और वेलॉक्स एएम को भी सफलतापूर्वक उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में स्थापित कर दिया गया.
Satellites are separated. PSLV-C56 DSR mission accomplished. Handing over to mission director.
और इन सभी 7 उपग्रहों के
And you heard it there. The DSAR mission is complete. All 7 payloads have been successfully deployed into orbit. Over the coming hour, the PSLV's fourth stage will perform a series of burns, so it does not stay up in an extremely high orbit where it will be remaining as debris for a long period of time. But that is it. Mission complete. Mission accomplished. T plus 23 minutes, 45 seconds into flight. As always, we're going to get to have some speeches here that we'll listen into, but if it was your first time here, welcome here at the launch pad. It's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow, because we believe that space is better together, and you joined us for our live launch coverage of DSAR aboard a PSLV rocket launching with the ISRO. If you haven't yet, engage that subscribe button so you never miss another launch live, our space news updates, Space News Weekly, and our exclusive one-on-one interviews and factory tours. As a reminder, we do have our 24/7 Chandrayaan 3 tracker as we count down 2 days, 17 hours, and 4 minutes until the translunar injection, taking Chandrayaan-3 out of Earth orbit and into lunar orbit on its 42-day mission to the moon ahead of its lunar landing. But let's listen in to Mission Control.
Good morning, all of you. PSLV-C56, carrying 7 satellites, including the primary satellite DSSAR and 6 co-passengers, have been successfully placed in the right orbit. This is a mission of the PSLV for NSIL, and I want to congratulate the customers, sponsored by Government of Singapore, for having this mission on board PSLV and their continued faith in our PSLV for deploying the spacecrafts from Singapore. Congratulations once again to NSIL and Singapore satellite who have been on board around this mission, and a very perfect orbit that this time that we have got. And we are going to have any exciting further activities on the PSLV stage after this. The PSLV 4 stage, which is currently in the orbit of the satellite, which is at almost 535 kilometer circular orbit in 5-degree inclination, that will be brought back to a lower orbit of 300 kilometers with an intent to have a lower lifespan of the stage being spent in the space, primarily to make sure that the space debris mitigation problems are addressed through our conscious efforts to bring back the PSLV upper stage in a controlled manner and to demonstrate that in this mission. So we are going to have that activity taking place further in almost another 1.5 hours. So we will get those confirmation much later. But at this moment, let me thank all of you for watching this mission early morning of this day and supporting us and congratulating us. And we want to specifically tell you that we are going to come back with another PSLV mission soon in the month of August or September, early September. So until then, let me thank you for. But before I leave, I would like to hand over the mic to the chairman cum managing director of NSIL, who has been helping us to have the PSLV winning all the commercial launches. So over to Radhakrishnan.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, let me express my heartiest congratulations to Team ISRO PSLV project across various centers for giving us such a marvelous and precise mission. I don't think customer could have asked for anything better than what we have just seen in today's mission. As you are aware, in this particular mission, we had 7 satellites from customer. The DSSAR, which was a primary satellite, a radar imaging satellite for all weather day-night imaging. And we also had 6 co-passenger satellites, again from Singapore, from NTU, NUS, and other companies. So I would say this C56 mission has been the entirely Singapore mission. On this occasion, I would just like to recall 1 or 2 instances. If I look back, our association with ST and DSTA way back in 2015, when they offered us the first dedicated mission called Helios 1. And since then, we have bagged almost 3 more launch contracts with Singapore, ST and DSTA. And today's launch has been the 4th dedicated launch for a single customer. I would say in the history of our PSLV launches for a commercial launches for international customer, a single customer coming to PSLV continuously 4 times for a dedicated launch has been a real record, and that shows the kind of trust the customer has laid on the teams here. I'm aware Singapore is planning many more missions in the future, and they will continue to have trust on our services and the most reliable launcher PSLV that we have offered the services. I'm sure they will offer us many more opportunities for us to give them the best launch in the international community. And with this, I would like to congratulate the DSSAR and all the customer team for their successful in-orbit operations. Thank you very much.
So this launch has been the result of the very dedicated and continuous work of the PSLV project team. So on behalf of the launch vehicle team and the PSLV project team, the mission director,
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all, or rather a PSLV good morning to all, or more befitting, a ISRO good morning to India. Because early morning we have a very successful mission of PSLV, but before anything, a big salute to Team ISRO, because in the past, in the matter of 2 weeks' time, matter of 15 to 16 days' time, we have accomplished 2 major missions of ISRO, and that is simply because of the dedicated effort of Team ISRO. That is the sole reason, and I compliment each and every one of you for that. Coming to this mission, PSLV, in its 56th successful mission, as you have seen here, has injected 7 customer satellites into the desired orbit. We started this campaign, integration activities at a new integration facility, PSLV integration facility, and moved over to first launch pad. Then onwards, all activities have been taking place very systematically, almost on something like clockwork precision. Yesterday we started the countdown, and countdown activities also went off very well without any observation, as if something like you take a command from a textbook, executed, that's all, and all the parameters were as expected. All this possible only because of the dedication of Team ISRO. And subsequently, we have seen that after automatic launch sequence at T0, what a majestic liftoff of PSLV, and each stage delivering whatever is intended of it, getting jettisoned, and reaching the 4th stage. After attaining the required velocity and orbital conditions, all the 6 satellites, all the 7 satellites got out separated one after another. It was a very beautiful, fantastic sight to watch sitting there. But as our beloved chairman has indicated, we have not completed the mission. The primary mission, the primary objective of the mission is completed. And what can we do? It has become a habit, or PSLV is habituated to doing some experiments in orbit. We will not leave the terminal stage just to wander in the space. We will take control of that because as you know, last time also we have done this. That is, we have written poems, we have sung melodies in space, we have taken startups to orbit. All those things we have done with the spent PS4 stage. This time we thought we will do something different, and that is what we are embarking on after the completion of the primary mission. We are taking the PS4 stage back to another orbit, because this orbit, 536 kilometer, roughly 500 to 570 kilometer orbit, is very much in demand for many satellites. We thought we will not be wandering there. PSLV on its own decided that we will take the PS4 stage or the spent stage to another orbit, another lower orbit, for 2 purposes. One, as our chairman has told, to do our might, to do whatever is best possible to mitigate the menace of debris in orbit. Another thing is this orbit, this precious orbit will not be occupied with a spent PS4 stage and as a debris, but we will give space for other future satellites. These are the 2 objectives with which we are doing this experiment. That experiment is in progress, and definitely within another 1 hour, I am very sure we will be accomplishing that experiment also. And all these things have been possible, as I told initially, it is because of the untiring, dedicated effort put in by Team ISRO, no doubt. All members of all centers have contributed. And we are getting excellent support from all our review forums, excellent guidance from all our review forums. That is what is visible in this view screens. And we are getting excellent, high quality, high reliable systems from all our industry partners. We are extremely thankful for that. And all our system development agencies, all our SR entities, all contribute to this mission. That is why everything went on as expected. And of course, our industry partners, I told, they deliver high quality systems, high reliable systems for us. This mission is a culmination of efforts put in by all of you, and also the support we get from our family, which we often take for granted, because without which we cannot manage this sort of missions. Now coming to our customer satellite, this satellite team, our Singapore team has always been with us, and coincidentally our previous mission also, we went together, we had a joyful ride to orbit, and they are enjoying the benefits of that. And as our NCL CMD has told, you have some more missions in future. I would like to imagine that we will take some 2 or 3 missions, 2 or 3 PSLV always ready, so that 2 or 3 missions of vehicles ready, so that we can always take you. We congratulate you on your achievements, sir, and we wish you all the best. Once again, best wishes to all of you for this mission. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and a very excited mission director there was. So thank you once again for watching this launch, PSLV C56 launch. Let me also offer from me the congratulations for all those partners in building PSLV from the industry, and also those who have been part of the integrating it into the subsystems and delivering it for us for this launch. And all of you know that the PSLV is now going to get industrialized, and in coming days we will be seeing fully industry-owned PSLVs being launched, and that we are targeting early next year. But this year itself we are going to have very exciting missions. The PSLV is going to be flying again. As I mentioned, we are going to have the mission of the Gaganyaan test vehicle, which is currently getting integrated. We are also planning to have the launch of the SSLV in its third development mission, as well as the GSLV mission for launching INSAT 3DS. So we are very packed with our activity in this year. So until then, we announce the next launch. Thank you so much, and wish you all the very best.
And there we have it. The DSAR mission from the ISRO is officially complete, and that's going to do it for us here tonight as well. If it was your first time here, make sure you subscribe to never miss another live launch coverage, and we hope you will join us in just over 3 hours for the second launch of tonight, this morning, depending where you're joining us from, for the 40th ever Electron launch from Rocket Lab. But from our TOP Canada studio, my name's Zach, and we'll see you next time, because space is better together.